It is.
But the thing's not on there.
Yeah, it's on. Hey, this is Jeff with and Danielle with Final Boss Editing. So we're gonna look over the log lines for this week's Amateur Friday screenplays, and I actually probably should post up that we're streaming. Good call. I'm dumb. But yeah, so we're looking. We're going to look over the log lines just to kind of give you the methodology. Gonna look over the log lines, find a few that are good, find two that are good, and then read the first 10 pages of, the ones that we like the most. So we're just gonna go ahead and log in here. Schwink. Uh-oh. It's getting excited. Let's see if I can actually do this here. Cool beans. All right, so doing live stream review right meow. There we go. Perf. See if that actually works, because sometimes, okay, yay. Cool beans. All right, so let's look over the log lines. We'll see which ones are good, which ones are meh, and then we can go from there. Okay, so Otherside Inc. While working as a henchman at a magical security firm, a young witch and her Rakasha's friend? What's that mean? Rakasha?
Raksha?
Raksha?
It's like a Rakshas.
Raksha!
It's a Raksha friend.
It's a rock show friend. So one witch and her rock show friend. Oh, that's much. Actually, like the front light. Oh, I was like, I'm not blind anymore.
I was like, that's so dark.
Must overcome interspecies politics, supernatural brand, and a handsome jewel thief to stop a product launch from snowballing into the apocalypse. Okay, that looks cool. Dan Demonic. Years after the devil himself has conquered Earth, an ornery demon and his equally belligerent sidekick are mistaken for saviors of mankind. Together they must rediscover their own humanity in order to save the world. What's up, UDVD?
UDVD. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's our homie.
Hi.
What up, homie? So today what we're doing is we're going through the log lines for a few screenplays, picking two that we think have the best pitch, and then from those two, reading the first 10 pages of each to see which is the winner. So usually with Amateur Friday, you pick one that you vote for, and that is the quote-unquote winner. Yeah. So it's
fun.
Cruising.
And the theme this week is magic.
Yeah, and the theme is like magical stuff, which is always exciting because we're definitely nerds. Yeah, and she likes magic too. But I'm more nerdy. Just kidding. Just prototyping some games. Nice. We're good. Just chilling. Yeah. Just, doing some screenplays, doing some edits. If you need some help with your game's storytelling aspects, let us know. We'll be happy to review it for you as well and do kind of the same notes as we're going to do here. So the story in games, I think games are going to be the next big storytelling form. So personally. So if you need help or want some edits on that, feel free to let me know. Let us know, because she is also a really good editor. Gritty adaptation of Homer's epic, following the exploits of the anti-heroes and gods who fought in the last days of the legendary Trojan War. Okay. Agoraphobic 12-year-old who suspects his mother and siblings of murder also suspects that he's going to be their next victim. That's kind of creepy. An agoraphobic, okay. That one, I don't really know what that will be. While visiting Tokyo on business, Mr. Jim Starr gets trapped in a dangerous smart house with a mind of its own. Okay. What do you think?
I think the first two.
Yeah,
that sounded intriguing.
I think these are definitely the strongest as well. Okay, so the first two it is. Let me go ahead and pull these down. I think I have those. Yes, I will pull them up right meow. Oh, wait, no, actually. Here we go. I don't need to do too much. Oh.
Should we start with the other one?
Dan Demonic.
The other side one first?
Well, this is the one that's showing up, so.
No, I'm just kidding. That's fine. I like to
We're
go
still
in
going to
order.
read them both.
I like to go in order.
So we could just calm down for 2 seconds, babe. That'd be great. Just
Never.
kidding. Never. She's a high-strung girl. Just kidding. No, she's really high maintenance. I'm just kidding. Yeah, she's nodding. Yeah, she's like, yeah, totally.
Yes.
Admittedly. All right. Let's see. Dan Demonic. All right. By Malcolm Pendleton. So we didn't have any notes in the log line, so I won't get too crazy there. There weren't like too many problems, just like nothing that was too like kick in the face besides kind of the first two. Open on black. Usually you two fade in, but you know, I would just like watch your slug line in the opening.
But then it's like
a bit non-traditional. I mean, this is not a bad thing. I think it's just like, you know, it's just different. Like, so just make sure like you have to have it. Like, yeah, or this is like really clear what you're trying to do. That's my only. I think it's fine.
Cool.
Just like be aware that that's like different. It works. Wow, just wow. Then, crap, I should be recording this. Cut to GWU Particle Accelerator Lab night. Through smartphone camera, our view jolts as wide-eyed physicist Dr. Ron Schoenborn. Is that right? Schoenborn. So do you have a German accent?
Yes.
40s lines up his shot. Now, proper safety protocol would dictate that I wait for the rest of the team before I whip open space-time. Beat. But I say screw them. If the others wanted to see history, they shouldn't have gone at 4 o'clock. Behind them, the banner. Is that a good evil German doctor accent? Okay.
100%. Well done. Would listen again.
I would listen again. Okay, so good opening. Unknown. So you're opening up with a mystery. So, like, you know, it's good to have, like, a mystery kickoff in the beginning because we at least want to see what's going to happen. And there doesn't have to be as much conflict in a scene because we're opening up, like, the Pandora's box, as it were. So, a good start. Behind him, a banner above a giant enigmatic machine reads George Washington University Wormhole Generator Project. It's the very clearly named. Yes. the very, very clearly named Wormhole Generator Project.
That's hilarious.
I think Udovic likes the German accent. Behind him, a banner above a giant enigmatic machine reads "Okay." Bzz, 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 the frame begins to shake. I don't think that needs to be in italics. I would remove this here. Doesn't fit in context. You usually use italics for like foreign language words, like stuff like that, or like terminology. Or like something you really want to highlight, like if I'm saying like, what are you doing? Like the "you" will be in italics, but if it's just like popping out a line a little bit, just use caps. Or I mean, what you do here for the sound effects. So I would I don't think it's serving the purpose you want there. Damn it! I got some call coming in. Schoenborn. He has to be German, right?
Yes, he does, yeah.
He's in a particle accelerator. I don't think those things even function for people without an accent.
That's very true.
It's like the passcode.
You
have to speak in a German accent to. I'll get it later. It's showtime.
Yeah.
And freeze. I don't know what that means.
So does the scene freeze?
Yeah. I would just clarify.
There's music too.
Why is this a scene element, or is this a descriptor, or is this a new? So like I don't know if this is like a montage we're opening up in. It looks like you're doing a montage here.
Are you supposed to put music in like that?
You can.
Okay.
It's not like you don't want to. Yeah, you don't want to be super specific because a lot of the challenges with putting in music into a screenplay is that you have to get rights and permission to to like use it. So like, one of the issues you have there is with if you do include music in your screenplay, you may not be able to have access to that specific song. So then you want to make sure that it's usually more general, like you would say like classical music starts playing.
Music.
Yeah, or like rock music. Consider musical cue unless this song is important to the story. Beat it drives. Yeah, from Eden series of still shots. I would clarify also like the freeze. Freeze is a bit jarring. I'd just say the scene freezes in a still. I mean, I would just, that's like not quotes, but parentheses. But yeah, I mean, that's just a bit of a kind of clarity thing that may pay some dividends later. Any other feedbacks from our dear commenters? Feel free to jump in and shout. All right, okay. As Schoenberg mugs gratuitously for the camera, the wormhole generator flares to life behind them. He turns out to look as a torrent of ghoulish demons streaming out of the machine. One of the demons vomits up a jet of fire, evaporating Schoenborn as he stands. So these are actually very active. Like you can kind of see it like that, but like these are pretty.
Be a still shot.
Yeah, like.
The descriptions are like movement.
These are
like vomiting up. Would it just be fire, like a picture of fire coming out, or is it an active like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would almost question why we need stills there. Do we need a still?
It could just be little short videos, little short images.
A music over a moving scene. I mean, I think that would be fine. Cool. Moments later, tendrils of smoke from flambéed skeleton are, for a beat, the only movement. However, an eerie figure materializes into view. Slim, sleek, almost androgynous in shape. The devil himself flashes androgynous in shape. I would get a bit more personality. So this is a very stereotypical view of the devil. Like, why doesn't he just wear like a sweet like suit or like just like some guy who's just like dusting off his like coat? A bit of a
we don't. All we know is that he's slim and sleek. Is he naked?
Don't really have
red? Is he
much description?
Humanoid? Is he? Does he have horns? Does he have a tail? Is he just like a person?
Yeah. It's just like I can't really tell.
Yeah.
Exhales a ball of fire. Boom! The roof of the massive research facility explodes outward. A series of still shots. A good place for credits, perhaps. Like this still shot dynamic is probably something you really want to consider cutting. I don't really envision this as being helpful.
There's too many.
Yeah, I mean it's just like it's sort of like watching a PowerPoint presentation of your movie. Like I don't think you necessarily want that.
I like the idea of having little like snippets of action, but the still shot.
Yeah. Don't even mention credits in a screenplay. You're a director. We'll take care of all this for you. But you are going to get a director. It's going to happen.
Okay.
Take it easy, bud.
Bye.
Later. Have a good weekend.
Thanks for stopping by.
You stay classy, Sandy Udovic.
Udovic.
Yeah. Okay. So, the still shot dynamic really would discourage you.
And they don't even read like still shots. Like this one, darkness was formerly rambunctious demons mill around, bored. Like,
well, I think he wants to do like what Zombieland does, like in Zombieland intro, where it like has like the guitar riff playing and there's all these people like running like these kind of like pictures. I think that's probably what he's going for, but I would almost just focus on the characters and the scene and like get to the story.
I think it's good because it like gives you an idea. Okay, this is like the apocalypse sort of.
Yeah, like all these are positives
big
too.
Picture.
Shit's real now as be.
Yeah.
I like because like that's also kind of telling, right? So like these are like very telly, so it's probably not worth keeping these just because it's like seems like it's becoming kind of this crutch for storytelling.
What does? Oh.
This is telling us.
Yeah.
Some show us in a scene. Yeah, I mean it's kind of just like trying to get all the exposition across.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we need it. Like, I mean, I kind of, we jump into this demon world, meet our hero. I like those types of From Eden Plays Out. Yeah, I don't know if these are necessary for just getting to the story, right? Because, like, honestly, I don't really mind as much about the cataclysm, like what caused it. I care about the characters in this new world doing whatever. I would just be like, really think whether we need to see the cataclysm. Is this necessary? Or will it factor in?
And it seems like a lot. It seems like instead of just random bits of information, it's almost like chronological, and it's like I don't care that much. Like here it's like them standing around bored, and then them like as night falls drunk and high. It's like, oh, I don't care that the demons, like if it was like different shots of like I don't know, like a playground getting obliterated or an old folks home getting hit, but it's like it's almost like chronological, and I feel like that
would be like, a scene.
Like it like I don't care. Like I get maybe showing little snippets of like the world just like going to, going in a handbasket. But
yeah.
But the like, oh, I'm bored. Like the demons sitting around bored, and the demons like just around.
I don't think because I mean even me, I just skimmed over this. Like I didn't even read it that much. Like so
parts of it you could just cut it down to like two little short
bits, because honestly if you just like because like like it's a cataclysm and like it's nothing there's nothing special.
The only thing is you might not get that from like the one guy dying, so I can kind of see like needing a little bit, but that was too long, too much,
or even maybe not necessary because now we have this whole world that you've drawn that we may just figure it out on our own. Like, trust your reader that, we'll be able, once we're in a world where there's like pig heads and all sorts of weird stuff, we may not need to even go into like how it happened unless it factors into the story, which I don't think it does yet. Unless like at the end of the story, the only way this beginning will make sense is at the end of the story, we go back to the particle accelerator and reverse it and use that tool to reverse it. Otherwise, it's just fluff. Like, if this is the only time I see that particle accelerator in this movie, that's a big issue, right? Like, if you're not using it for, multiple stuff, it's, it's something you'll want to remove usually. Okay, we prepare to meet our hero on a street corner, teenage demon. Okay, meet our hero. You don't really need that. Your story on him.
Question out, Sam.
Cool. Hideously unique, or any of the sins that brought them to hell in the first place.
How do we know?
Patient piercings and tattoos. How do we know the sins equal their uniqueness? Maybe there's a,
some sort of dialogue
drug abuser, like covered in weed or whatever, covered in crack. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, that's any. Yeah, creative rock star. Yeah, if you guys need creative help, let me know. Cool. So, do you want to read for a little bit, babe? I may grab just a sip of water real quick.
Let's
Just read aloud
see.
so I can hear you over here.
Okay. A pig's head adorned with facial piercings and tattoos sat upon a human torso. It winds into the night. Wait, what does? The pig's head? Oh, so the teenage demon has a pig's head adorned with facial piercings and tattoos. Should it be sitting upon a human torso? It winds into the night.
Mm-hmm.
Nude women! Nude human women! Check out McNasty's corner of human? Yeah, well, the good parts. Carry on.
Cloaked in shadow, a massive creature walking by reaches out to grab a flyer. In doing so, the teenage demon glimpses something we don't? Glimpses, I think is the word you're searching for. But yeah, that's not a big thing. I won't throw that in the side, but just make sure to make those words, the verbs, work in context. Hey, sir, what's that thing on your back? The stranger halts mid-step and pivots toward the teenage demon, revealing red eyes. We'll get to proper introduction soon, but we will? Why not now?
Yeah, why not now?
And like, none of the names, you need to introduce Dan here. Yeah, it's just...
If you're going to give it to us eventually.
Yeah. Why not now? I thought Teenage Demon was our hero. Because you told me earlier.
Yeah.
Was our hero. But be sure to introduce Dan in caps in the action. It is a bit jarring.
Even if we'll find out more about him later, you should still introduce him in...
Like, tell me what the characters look like. Like, I mean, because, like, Dan, I just have a massive creature walking by.
With red eyes.
Revealing red eyes. Pardon? Quaking. Why is he... I thought they're, like, in Hellville.
Why the teenage demon is quaking?
Yeah.
But he's the one questioning him.
Pardon? No. Dan's the big thing that walked up to the teenage demon.
It says the teenage demon quaking. The teenage demon doesn't bother to repeat himself.
What's
He's
that
the one
thing
that
on
was
your
like,
back?
"What's that thing?"
Oh.
I don't.
Yeah, I would just make sure the characters' reactions make sense. Uglier. Okay.
What does he say? Wait, keep going. Up.
Oh,
I
sorry.
didn't read that, yeah. Pardon? Good, because whatever you did to end up like that was almost the second worst thing to ever happen to you. Guess they can't be any uglier than... What does it say? Your mug.
Than your mug. Yeah.
With that, Dan ambles away, humming This Little Piggy.
So I think he's like talking smack to the little demon dude.
Wow.
I guess. I don't know.
What's the point of him?
He's mad, or like, I guess like the guy was like, what's on your back? And he's like, well, whatever. I'm not that messed up. So I guess he's trying to like push back. But other stuff to just be watch out for. Make sure clarity is key. In your dialogue. It seems like this seems unmotivated because I think you have an idea of what's transpiring, but the reader, you just want to make sure you're communicating. Okay, this is what they're in conflict over. Clarify what the conflict is in the scene. Not super clear. Okay, we're gonna go a little bit quicker here. McNasty's night. Yeah, nice bar. It's like McAnally's.
Yeah.
Sure enough, from the top of the weekly lit stage, demon stripper gyrates against a pole. All women below the neck. The performer's face is covered by a Richard Nixon mask. Vixen Nixon. It's like,
Vixen Nixon. First booty tossed on stage is the usual roughshod currency. Burnt and crumpled bills, rusty coins. Bizarre cascade of jewelry, precious stones, anything else of value.
Parts of ghastly arrangement, bones. Grobber demon approaches, settling down a shovel, digging into his cloak. Tosses a perfectly preserved human skull at Vixen Nixon's feet. For her part, the dancer just shrugs and is like, I know a guy. What do you mean, like?
What do you mean I know a guy?
I'm not sure. It just, yeah, I mean, that's the problem. So that's the problem with taking your own interpretation and like not showing, right? Because then you're telling, like, you being like, oh yeah, this is her expression may mean something completely different to the reader. So then we're like, okay, you showed us this, but now you're telling us something different about what's actually happening, and then it comes into like dissonance.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
So, show, don't tell. It seems like the things you're communicating in scene are in dissonance with what's happening in scene. So it feels like a lot of action. Lots of action is unmotivated. I'm going to go a little bit faster here just because YOLO.
R.E. shovel. Can't she just motion towards the shovel?
Scoops up her bandy and heads off. That's my shovel.
No, but doesn't R.E. shovel kind of weird? Wouldn't she like motion towards the shovel?
Yeah, that's actually a good call. And using parentheticals for stuff like that that's why I didn't even notice it, because I usually just skim parentheticals because they should be clear in dialogue. So the fact that, okay, so yeah. Page 4. Kill this parenthetical. Or, move this to action line. Avoid. I mean, unless they're like part of like the dialogue that's like really critical, you usually want to trim out parentheticals. Also, if any of our viewers out there have any other thoughts, comments for the writer, I love reading good stories. I love, great books, stuff like that. So the more we can help more people get there, the better. So feel free to.
Let's make this like the Bob Ross.
The Bob Ross. Run. Saved. GG Bob Ross.
Rest in peace, devil.
Yeah. Oh, Bob Ross.
So good.
He's the man. Anyways. Illuminated for the first time then is an easy, light.
Wait, I just missed what happened.
So then that's my shovel. Boom.
Front door, thunders open. Building joints.
Building joists. That's like the structure. Usually like, I don't know.
Joists?
It's like,
what are joists?
It's like, I think it's part of the building structure.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. At least I think so. It's probably fake. I'm just kidding. That's probably real. But okay, scaly skin, possibly long arms, but that's what about frightening at first glance. Hey Max.
Hello.
What's going on, buddy? That's basically what about frightening at first glance. Dan is comically disproportionate in addition to his arms, thighs, and the size of bookcases. Bookcases.
Dwarf.
In addition to his arms, thighs, the size of bookcases, dwarf a cinched-in waist. Okay, so he's really big. Despite the rest of him, Dan's face isn't hideous, it's weary, that of a painfully normal middle-aged man. Curious onlookers talk amongst themselves. Is that who I think it is? It is, it's Dan! Dan does the best to ignore them, going to the bar. Can I get a whiskey? The bartender demon, an impish creature with an alcoholic's nose the size of a model blimp, nods. I heard he vapored 6 last week. I hear he vapored a dozen. Probably for like another hour.
We'll be here.
Maybe like a little bit. We probably will leave around 7, just for Leo's thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I heard shut up. Erie still comes over the places. He yelled at me. No, he was yelling at me. Whiskey lands in front of Dan. Before he can grab it, a bony hand reaches out and knocks it away. All eyes turn to the offender, grave robber demon. Dan the great demon. Tell me, what's so great about you? Hey, another one over here, and make it snappy. I'm in a bad mood. Eyes go up around the strip club as if there was ever a night not to make Dan mad. However, the interloper doesn't step down. Grave robber demon. I've been through every plot, ditch, and field in this city, but I have yet to find a human you've killed. What kind of self-respecting demon has never shed an ounce of blood? One who's too busy dealing with jerks like you. Gotta censor it for her.
Yeah.
Come on, fight. Chance of fight. Dan stands and flexes his arms, the cheers heightening, but instead of engaging, he walks towards the door. Guess I'm not as thirsty as I thought. However, he pivots and an unusual sight comes into view, a pink plastic tricycle embedded in Dan's back. Well, we wouldn't want you to drink and pedal your itsy-bitsy bike home. It's over for the grave robber before it really begins. Dan stomps on the grimy floor. I would really avoid doing that. Like, I would just represent this in the action.
This reminds me of a book I read.
Oh, which one?
It was some like YA book. It was like about the apocalypse and like it was humans, but like all humans had been like fused with different objects. Like a girl had like a doll on her, like instead of a hand, it had like fused with her hand, and other people had like random stuff just like coming out of their backs, like a tricycle or something.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe he like hurt a kid or something, and it's like regret. I mean, it's a cool image. I'm guessing he ran over a kid or something, and that's his guilt on his back. If that's what you're going for, I'm not sure. If the writer sees this, let me know. Where the grave robber demon stands, seemingly unhurt. Is that the best you've got? As the grave robber tumbles over, Dan grabs a school and fluently spins and slams it in the demon's bleached bone chest like a four-legged bayonet. Dan stands over the ruined creature and watches it as it vaporizes or vapors into nothing less. The other demons clap and shout, however, they're cheering as they're by a boom at the front door, where the grave robber stands, unhurt. Is that the best you've got? You know, this whole fighting thing got really boring when we stopped being able to die. Oh, I'll make you yearn for death. The grave robber steps forward, but ka-chick. The pair look to the bartender who racks a shotgun. Enough. This is the boss's favorite place, and I want to have no sore loser wrecking it up. Come on, just give me one more crack. Buckshot impales the grave robber demon. When he reappears, he's standing outside the front door of the bar. I'll be waiting, Dan. I don't know what the grave robber demon's beef is, but it seems a bit random.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good because it's conflict. Good conflict, but and be sure...
The rules, the fact that they can come back to life.
And showing exposition, but make sure this is in context for the story. It seems like some rando picking a fight, which we've seen before in bar scenes. Okay, yeah, half the city muttering, get some space. Another drink, Pinocchio? What? I'm confused about this Pinocchio thing. Yeah, you and half the city. What I wouldn't give for some peace and hey, another drink, Pinocchio? Bartender readies it. Dan turns to Chris on. Listen, I'm the nastiest, most violent, most meanest, and I have no problem killing none. I mean, if you're pretty much... I have no problem not killing a human being. I mean, if they were pretty much extinct, but if I ever do find one, I will murder them violently, with violence. It seems kind of a random speech. Yeah. It seems like a really, Why does he seems like an out of context. I thought he didn't even want to fight.
Yeah, why does he?
He even wanted to fight.
And I thought the teenage demon was the hero.
Yeah, I think he was saying that this is the scene we're introducing a hero, but not actually that next person as a hero. Which is why you just want to tell your story and not give too much commentary in the action because...
I'm where's the teenage demon?
Yeah, because of that exactly. Okay, well, no worries. Take it easy. Have fun at church.
Yay.
Take care.
Bye.
Thanks for stopping by. Overgrowth climbs and coils over the broken walls of the facility. It's been a long time since anyone's been here. Or has it? Ooh, okay, the particle accelerator lab. I'm glad you brought it back. Mm-hmm. I was very scared that wasn't going to happen. From beneath the steel plate on the floor, the tiniest silver sliver of light shines. The plate stands aside. A human head hands reach out, followed by a full torso. Crash. A flashlight clicks on from within the hole, formerly covered by the plate, illuminating its holder. Liz Schoenborn, 22. Used to cake on dirt and not makeup. Used to caked on dirt and not makeup. Liz is comfortable in the dark. After all, she spent much of her life in it. But some aren't quite as adept. Quiet, we're an endangered species, for heaven's sake. She shines her beam on the crumpled form. Dr. Webster Ling, 30, rolls over to reveal the supply cart he's crashed into. How was I supposed to know? that was there. I haven't been up here in months. Liz joins Ling on the Ling. I guess that would be whatever. I was giving him probably the wrong tone of voice. Grabs the radio on her belt.
You saying he's an Asian voice?
Probably, but I already started with that one. So take a look at my script. Will do. I think is it the one that we saw last time? Because I saw. I thought we did go over. We went over the first few pages.
I think that was when I left early.
Yeah.
I was tired.
I think we went over some of it. The portion you sent over. And we can, I would say, shoot for 10 pages. For 10 pages more. And we'll catch back up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I think we saw the first few pages, but as you get more and more, we can help you with more, even if there's more stuff to edit. So yeah, for sure. He's off late, isn't he? Yeah. 2 minutes, then we go back down. Come on, Ling. This should be the break we've been waiting for. Liz approaches the bank of long dormant computers. Her fingers sweep the keys. Displacing years-old dust. You said that if we could get this stupid thing going again, we might be able to return all of them to hell. And you're the physicist, so let's just wait, all right? Monitor flickers, displaying a simple message. Insufficient power, battery low, critical systems, okay. Very descriptive messaging on this.
Systems only.
Only, oh, I see. But still, it's very descriptive. 9. I mean, there's a lot of jumping around. I mean, I kind of know a lot of jumping around.
Yeah, I think they should get the main story started.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's like returning the demons to hell is kind of like the premise, but
I thought the story was about the demons, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, well, I know that's at least what Liz wants to do, I think. Because we want to send them back, but
I think that'll be
it just seems like a bit meandering. Yeah, and I think like the main plot is probably the big mean bad demon helping the humans.
It's best to get the main plot started and then bring the subplots in.
Yes.
So far, all Dan has done is almost get in a fight and then give a weird speech.
Hasn't done much. Say weird speech. Kick. If he's our hero, as you say.
Take off the story, and then you can be like, oh, now there's a subplot of the humans trying to get their world back and give it to the demons.
Good. See? Pro status. Great. Alrighty. Monitor flicks on. More likely, Liz, it's nothing. And he's nothing. Just some kook on the radio. Did this guy ever explain to you how he plans to power up an entire particle exciter with something he can carry in his pocket? Liz can't answer. Heaven knows. I'm not risking my life for 1 in a million shot. Heaven, it seems, doesn't care what happens to us. We may as well try. She turns, eyeing the tattered transferable wormhole project banner. Transversible. Burnt, crumbled, but still readable. Like the banner, Liz's faith in hope is not living in holes.
Fate in not living in holes. Huh?
Fate in hope in not living in hole. Wait. Liz's faith in hope in not living in holes has been bent over the years, but not broken.
That's a clunky sentence.
All right, but how are you going to express that on the screen? Page 9. How will you express on the screen this revelation about her hope? Yeah, that's kind of showing and telling. Demon 1. Okay, more Dan. Yeah, a lot of jumping around. Okay, so I think I'm going to call this one at 10 unless you have other feedback stuff. Okay. Alrighty, so the good stuff. Very creative world. Visual world, which is awesome. Cool dynamics with the demon traits. Solid dialogue.
It's funny.
Good voices, etc. The stuff I would improve here, and I'll space this down so that people can actually see. What up, Mooch? The stuff that I would improve is, make sure get to the story quickly. Or at least give us a clear arrow towards it. Like, even if it's just a character problem, like the character does this, and then we know that eventually that's like the thing that he's gonna have to resolve. Like, it doesn't have to be like he's gonna have to fight the bad guys. It's like, oh, maybe he like gets beat up by a bad guy or something. I would just remove the snapshot stuff, and I'd probably trim the beginning.
And I would say make the hero likable somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he gets more so, but at this point he's just given a weird speech and threatened to beat people up. This guy does all the time.
Which, I mean, hey, who doesn't do that every now and then? Come on. Okay, cool. Well, I mean, I think one of the other big ones in like the line by lines. I mean, the conflict's okay, but yeah, and then also show don't tell. Like a lot of this stuff, you're saying, hey, this is what's happening. Show us a lot of these character insights you write in. Don't just everything has to be screen, and it's your job as the screenwriter to think through the visuals for us. Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing you don't have the director do, right? Like, the stuff like, he was really nice, like, Liz's faith in Hope. This one actually is the screenwriter's job. Like, the credits, that's the director's job. The, when they put the credits in, whatever, but, like, or how they do that intro. But these types of moments, like, your job is to show me how Liz's faith is not broken. And maybe that's through a choice she makes, that's through something she says to another character, but it has to be something I can see, or else, or else you're kind of losing some of that drive you have in your screenplay. Okay, so Otherside Incorporated. Cool. So these are all, just to kind of give people context, these are all magical stories, magical fantasy stories.
The best kind.
Which are the best kind. But they are also harder to manage because you have to instill a mythology. You have to do a lot more groundwork, and you have to really weave that work in, which makes those much, at least in my opinion, much harder than your standard.
Dual authors. That's cool.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that'd be fun. Co-writing something. One of my buddies used to do that more. Okay. So, page 1.
Let's do this.
Cool. Temple ruins, the king's atrium day. Yeah. Just so you guys know, she's drinking bourbon and I'm drinking water. That's how you know how
I'm kind of a lightweight.
she's tough as nails.
I was like, a little bourbon. I'm like, I'm a little tipsy.
It's okay. I'll drive to dinner. It's okay.
Those exams made my tolerance go down.
That's good. That's good. That means you've been working hard. That's like,
nice.
It's a good sign.
So if my face gets a little red, that's why.
It's okay. I was like, you smell like booze, babe. Come on.
That's why you keep me around.
That's true. Yeah, it's a good trait. I don't say it was a bad thing. Okay. Numbering scenes. Ooh, this is a great note. You don't want to number your scenes usually unless this is going into production. So scene numbering is a production instrument. You probably just, on a screenplay stylistic note, you don't need to number them until you're there. Don't need to number until Screenplay is in production. I would just avoid it. Your goal, I mean, in screenwriting, especially if this is a spec screenplay you're trying to sell, your goal is just to make this as smooth storytelling as possible. You don't want to mess with any kind of other weird mechanisms. You don't want to throw too many wrenches in. You just want a story that carries itself and is very clearly communicated. Those are the primary goals of yeah. Woot.
It's my favorite.
Yeah. Light through a moldering ceiling. Catches on the carving. I don't know what, like, moldering is a bit writerly. Catches in the carvings of gods and monsters, older and more intricate than this Sistine Chapel. A treasure chamber, just visible through the treasure chambers. Treasure chambers? That looks like possessive.
Treasure chambers, yeah. A treasure chamber is what?
Odd right out is phrasing in para 1 seems a bit verbose, writerly. Just stick to the facts and be clear. And like, it's cool. Like, I think you can kind of flex your, writer muscles a little bit early in the screenplay. So I think this is okay, but this kind of is a bit unclear, and it's probably could be clarified if this was just like trimmed down. Despite the jungle growth, the temple's in good shape, undisturbed for millennia. How do I know it's undisturbed for millennia? Show me how it's undisturbed for millennia. Like cobwebs. Like ancient skeletons.
Yeah. Well, they already said carvings, but you could go into more detail.
Yeah, but I mean, then that's like, like just like a foot of dust sits over everything. Then I kind of like, like those are the things that you kind of want to use, like, because honestly, like, the reader won't know, and like, like, or at least the viewer, like, if it just shows that, like, a Sistine Chapel treasure chamber, I don't know if this is like an active castle where there's treasure, those are the kind of things. What up, Silent Willow?
Hello.
So you actually caught us right at a good time. So we're just starting the edit on Otherside Incorporated, which is a screenplay about. So the theme this week on the Amateur Friday is magical screenplays. So we're gonna kind of go through this. It's the first scene, and we're kind of just kicking off here. So good timing. And yeah, these are the notes for Otherside. Okay. Smack, bang, bang, bang. Boots kick sculpture to rubble, and bullets shred delicate stonework as three good-looking adventurers belay into the atrium, pursued by gunfire. Nice. Okay, well, it's something I've probably seen before, but it's conflict, so that's good. So, I'll bit.
You bit. Don't bit.
I'll bit. Boots kick sculpture to rubble, and bullets shred the decay. Sam Walker, double PhD in archaeology and kicking ass. Love it. Okay, I'm gonna like this story. Yeah, I know, it's true.
How it goes.
The character intros you can get away with a little bit.
Does he hold his diplomas? I mean, that's kidding.
So Fox brings up a good point about joking with my style. You have a little bit of license to be a little bit telly in character intros. So yeah, it's okay. But like, you kind of, I would avoid mentioning actors.
Oh yeah.
Because that takes you out of the story.
Especially if you're using every single Chris in the industry. Yeah. Chris Pratt, Pine, Evans, Hemsworth.
And remove actor references since it pulls us out of the story.
And he named the character Chris.
Really? Oh no, it's Sam. It's Sam and Chris
Hart. A Chris Pratt, Pine, Evans, Hemsworth.
Oh wow. Well, I would discourage that. And they have a bachelor's in kicking ass. I know.
I didn't even graduate from
dissertations are hard.
High school.
Yeah. I just didn't want to put the time in to get the dissertation, so it's just, I still had to make some money, student loans.
I'm still working on the pharmacy thing.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, it's exhausting. Okay. Sam Walker, double PhD, just had to piss off the natives, didn't you? The natives have guns? Oh.
She's a firebrand lady explorer in sensible shoes.
But where was she introduced? Oh, I see. Oh, wow, they're all introduced so quickly. I would at least, I don't know, like kind of, that's a lot of introduction. Like, I would spend maybe a little bit more time. Like, the characters seem all pretty familiar. Like, they almost seem identical. Like, they're like kind of like like Indiana Jones, like rock and roll, and like they're not too. There's like, I'd spend more time coloring each of the characters. So this is letting me think that these are going to be throwaway characters, which is going to scare me right now.
Why?
Because if you have three in characters that are introduced exactly the same, that are like completely bro down, showdown tropes. It's either going to be kind of like a joke on the cliche where they're like, hey, like Indiana Jones is silly, like this is a joke on it, which is like either what this can become, or they're just going to like kill them all. And like,
but what if they're the main characters?
Then we'll see. That will be tough to pull off or make these people unique individuals because they all are like identical intros. Since the intros seem almost identical for all three. Except for like someone being a girl. However, an added narrative film will be able to add in these edgy details. That's true. Narrators are at a risk.
It's tough though, yeah.
Because one of the things that, and I don't know, I'm trying to think of a good movie. I've read a lot of screenplays where the narrator's not been done well. It's just like one more thing you have to control and you have to like really think about and make sure it's necessary. Because anything you add into a screenplay that's not absolutely necessary towards telling the story is going to distract from it. It's just like, you know, like running a company. Like we have to be very, very focused on what we're doing or else things start just breaking. And it's the same in fiction. So narrators work, but they only kind of work as far as adding. I think so.
Yeah, Tomb Raider. Seems like it.
So yeah, I think so at this point. I mean, my like, but that's the thing. Like big action adventure screenplays. There's not too many unique elements in them. So like you as the writer, like that's the challenge is to like fight against the tropes usually. Even if you're going to stay pretty close, you have to answer that question. What's my same with the business? What's my competitive advantage? What makes me unique? So I'm going to be really looking hard in these first 10 pages for that answer, which, you know, you kind of like, yeah, I mean, it kind of like the magical elements there, but there's a lot of these action screenplays with magical elements. So, you know, that's just something to be aware of. Like, I don't know if there's something that's really punching through as unique yet. Good, strong writing, though. Like, I mean, the style seems pretty on point. Okay, I'm pretty sure...
Just had to piss off the natives, didn't you?
That the use of natives is racist. Says the man who tried to pass off a tiki statue as a local god. Tiki Wahekaheka is a god!
It's Waka Ea Ea.
Okay, lady.
I'll go to Hawaii, okay?
Okay. I'm about to be in some real trouble here. I'm just kidding. Yeah, maybe in Hawaii. I know, you are more cultured for sure. I'm just more nerdy. They hit the floor. They hit the floor running.
A collapsible rocket launcher from his backpack.
That's pretty sweet.
That's cool.
A militia team descends behind them.
Oh, bye, Moocher.
Later, Moocher. But please don't let them make it out alive.
Oh, Moocher, you have a special lady friend.
Ah, painting a cow.
You should invite her.
Well, have fun, Moocher. Sounds like you got a fun night ahead, Saturday night. And then, please don't let them make it out alive. Don't worry. We'll see.
Painting a cow. That sounds
cool. That sounds pretty sweet. Painting a cow and watching him painting a cow. That's pretty awesome. I don't even know what that is. It like painting on a cow?
Painting on a cow, or are they painting a picture of a cow?
Both are cool. Moocher. Yeah, both are cool. I don't know. Maybe that's like this new like. The newest wave in hillbilly art is cow painting. Yes. I'm not saying you're a hillbilly mooch, no. But you know we all have our preferences of painting canvases. Two those aren't even guys. Honestly, don't know what I didn't piss them off. Besides, try to kidnap a piece of their history? Oh, go cry into your paycheck. They're not using it. A militia team? Do the natives have militia?
No, I think it's their militia team.
Oh. So the banter's fun.
Mm-hmm.
But I still want to make sure it's like directionally, like, banter is fun, but make sure it's communicating the important stuff we need to know to grok what's going on. I know, people always say that in our office, so it sticks, sadly. Okay. The King's Atrium.
The ceiling's almost 3,000 years old.
Boom, the King's Atrium collapses, burying their pursuers.
They have pursuers? Oh,
I guess it was the militia team. So they just killed a bunch of natives?
Also kill moochers.
They paid it just for fun.
More sadistic.
So violence. This is like a hashtag horror story. Okay. Dust settles. Chris lies prone. An engagement ring box tossed a few feet from him in the rubble.
I don't know.
Chris puts himself between Alex and Sam as a blast wave explodes all through. I guess you're getting your murder scene here.
Yeah.
Siri.
Chris lies prone. Engagement ring box.
Define okay.
Okay. Where, Chris?
Chris coughs, shaking temple bits from his hair as Alex and Sam approach. He hastily stuffs the ring box back into his clothes.
He's going to propose to Alex. Calling it.
Yeah.
But I do like that it's already like giving depth to the character.
Good setup with ring.
Yeah.
Nice coloring on characters early on. Yeah. The militia part is a bit weird. Like, and did they just like slaughter a bunch of natives? Like, are they bow and arrow natives? Yeah. And did they just kill? They just kill like.
I don't think so, because they're all awake.
But like the natives, but like the like they got hit by the rubble, but the natives like burying their pursuers. So they use his rocket launcher to like kill all the natives. It's like, oh god, these guys are monsters. Broken legs is the worst. As Alex approaches, Chris, talk to me, man. Ooh, what? Psh, I'm fine. It's like his leg is broken. Clearly not. I think the leg is broken. It's okay. It's not. He tries to stand and falls. I think my leg is broken. Okay, so we have that same, like, my leg is broken. My leg is broken. Like, okay, it's like, I got it, guys.
You can take out the first one.
Yeah, and that's the show don't tell, right? Because you show us. So trust your readers. Trust your readers to figure this out from us, from you showing us. Take out the first
leg.
Leg. It's not. It's like, dude, your leg is broken. Would he be that like cool about it? Like, come on, man, my leg's fine. You've got a job to do, Sam.
It's just like Dresden.
Yeah, sort of. Similar. Alex's gaze goes to a long staircase at the top. An array of light and idol clutches a fist-sized jewel. Sam hesitates. Like the lady said, dude, go on. I will never get you two. How is that not... Wait, the girl is Alex, right?
Yeah. He thinks he's fine. She thinks he's fine. Like, we've got a job to do.
Yeah.
But Sam's the one that's like,
and
maybe we should get you out of here. So he's like, and he's like, I'll never get you to.
Sam and Alex start up the stairs with
Calling
their...
Yeah,
it's true. It's true. Chris and Alex. Chris Hart always gets the girl at the movies, right? So...
Yeah. I didn't say nothing.
I'm gonna have to ban you from Hollywood. Alex shouts, pulls him from reflections.
Pulls him from his reflections.
Okay. Their backs are to Chris fiddles with the ring box. Apparently, of its own accord, the jewel has begun to twist from its mountings on closer inspection and wrapping in the air. Warping in the air betrays a cloaked presence. When the jewel is freed, it begins to spin. Throbbing light pulses from its heart. It rises toward the ceiling. Holy tiki.
Waka ea ea.
Alex recovers first, drawing her gun. No, you don't. As the diamond gets brighter, it's spinning faster. Alex takes aim, shoots, crack. Hit the gym flare's nova. Hit, comma. Swallowing Alex, Sam. The room. What?
So they hit
so
the
it's like
gem,
a super gym and it like blows up.
Yeah.
A predator enters the room. Dun, dun, dun. The plot twist.
So far, I think it's good. It's got good conflict. You know, there's things happening. I feel like the story is getting started.
A lot of stuff happening, but yeah, I mean, I think for me, like, I just I'm looking for something unique here about this world and why it's different. I mean, because it's like, I mean, it's a very traditional setup, which is good if you can turn it on its head and make it unique. But it's tricky if it's just kind of like more of the same. It's like I'm gonna be really looking for something to stand out here. Sam's clasped over his burst eardrums. When he opens his eyes, Sam and Alex are nowhere in sight. He struggles to his feet, distracted with the broken leg.
Wait, where did you start?
No, right here after the explosion. They're still in there.
You skipped the first part of the sentence.
Oh, sorry.
Chris's face is screwed up in pain, hands clasped over his burst eardrums. He opens his eyes, they're nowhere in sight, struggles to his feet. Movement near the chamber, catches his eye. Chris whirls.
Lunges for it.
The militia man. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, sorry. Movement near the entrance, militiaman. Chris lunges for it. High above the shadowed ceiling, a security camera follows the movement. Besides the flashing recording light is a logo of two interweaving dragons. Unblemished by the bullet. Okay. Otherside Incorporated. Exterior, Los Angeles, morning. The city stretches out like the surface of the Death Star. How? Yeah, it's true. I love Star Wars, but like the Death Star. Turrets? A trench with a thermal exhaust port right below the main port. How is it like the Death Star?
Porkins, is that name?
Yeah, is Porkins about to blow? Like, you know, they have like a thermal, like a trench with a thermal exhaust port.
I can't hold him.
Stay on target.
I can't hold
Stay on target.
I can't hold him.
Stay on target.
Is it a real screenplay? Yes.
It is. So this is a screenplay submitted through. So Scriptshadow.net has a weekly screenplay competition, or like bi-weekly sometimes, where a bunch of people who are aspiring screenwriters write screenplays, and then those writers, will have their screenplay reviewed. A bunch of people vote on which one should be professionally reviewed. So we're actually going through a few of the ones we think best, and we're going to vote for one. So yeah. So this is kind of like building up to like us voting on one that should get actually brought into the running. But yeah, these are all like from writers out in the big wide world trying to get their screenplays made.
Off-brand superheroes, monsters, aliens, pink mustachioed sedan, lift car.
Nice.
Pulls up to the curb, letting out Wallace White and a cult punk lady dressed for the first time. Wallace is a girl's name? She adjusts her skirt and opens a QR coded email. What's that?
Oh, a QR code. You know what a QR code is? It's like those little squares with all like the weird dots in
okay.
them. Yeah. Yeah, that one's kind of
against a bronze plate beside the entrance of a boarded up bank building. Nothing happens. She frowns and swipes. Finally, it beeps. A pulse runs through the heavy 1930s door. When she pushes the metal, it ripples.
It ripples. It ripple, man.
It ripple.
It ripple.
What'd it do? It ripple.
Page 4. It ripple, yo. Just kidding.
It ripples so hard.
Yeah. Cats lounge amid the gaudy black and gold Egyptian decor. Doug and Clyde, a pair of stone sphinxes, rest on pedestals, flanking the elevators as she comes level with them. Whoa, whoa, stop right there, young lady.
Wait.
A lot of characters.
Those are...
I think these
statues,
are like the
though.
employees.
No,
Yeah,
those
yeah.
are the statues.
Yeah, so like these are the employees, so it's like the guardian statues, like in...
Since when are there guardian statues?
Well, I think she's going to this like magical company.
But that was so not clear from the first scene.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think these are guys that the magical company's watching. And they're like, I mean, this is what I'm kind of piecing together. So it's a little bit jarring, this transition to page 4, page 5, the transition.
We go from like Indiana Jones to like Harry Potter.
Yeah, that's true. It really does. I think that's
I'm
like...
okay with like the magic, but I feel like that wasn't set up early on.
Tone to agree. This is Indiana Jones to Harry.
Which is fine if like the people earlier were using magic or something and it was like established, like it's a magical world. But I felt like it was not clear.
Yeah, I mean, you want to establish your big things really early. I mean, and like the question you want to answer, right, is like whether that intro scene needed to be as long as it was. I mean, that was like a 3-page chunk just of them getting a diamond. Like, why couldn't we just cut to like them like blowing up the roof? Like, you know, it's like kind of starting a little bit more forward, gives you the free, like the space to kind of get that exposition across if you really need that intro scene to throw in some magic. So I would just start that. I mean, that scene, I think it could have started later in the beginning.
Yeah. What? So where is she? Why are they?
So this is some other lady, and also there's a lot of characters. I mean, like having like 3 characters getting chased by natives, and then 3 more characters. It's like that's a lot to remember. So I'm like I've forgotten like most of their names except for the Chris guy because like we were joking about that earlier. Beware lots of characters. Do we need 3 explorers? Who got in this point? Have to remember. And now 3 guards. Yeah, because I mean the reader, especially because you don't have a clear protagonist we're following now, which may be Clyde, but I'm not sure because I thought it was Chris a second ago. Now I'm like, oh crap, now I have to keep track of all these people because I don't know who my protagonist is. And like I'm sure you're probably like feeling a little bit overwhelmed now too, where you're like, oh, like who am I really going to try to follow? Yeah. All right, well, let's keep going.
Yeah.
Cats lounge amidst the gaudy black. Whoa, stop right there, young lady.
Who are you? You're real, of course you are. Sorry. Hi, I'm the new hench person.
So I guess she was introduced.
Yeah, she was the girl.
Yeah.
Stepping out of the car.
A hench person?
No, this is Bastard Security Services, right?
No, it's Bank of America. Of course it is. Wallace starts to walk again. What about stop? Did you not understand?
I thought...
You have to answer a riddle, obviously. It's my turn, Clyde. Shut up, Doug. I swear if you're... I guess Doug is really stupid. So... Shut up, Doug. I swear, if you do the room, no one can enter. Mushrooms are funny. They relax people. Fine. How about what's always coming but never arrives?
Your mom.
Appears to tattooed Rakshas.
Rakshas, an Indian humanoid monster.
I mean, the dialogue's funny.
Yeah. I still don't
but
know.
But it seems super
I still don't understand.
random. And I think you're just relying really heavily on this fun banter, but you're not actually communicating anything. And that's the challenge, because you see people that are really good at dialogue, but then they just lean on their like great dialogue skills and their banter, and then they're not giving the readers the facts they need through the dialogue to get the story.
Yeah.
But it seems super fluff. It still needs to the story to us, the reader. The banter is fun, but don't let it distract. Yeah, I mean, because like for us, like, you know, reading, like, you can, you know, read fun dialogue for a few lines and it's great, but it's not going to carry you through 120 pages. Like, fun dialogue is just not that much fun. And here come the badge. Yeah, I mean, I think it's the challenge, right, Siri, just because, you know, you do want the reader to have, like, these fun characters, and it looks like you're going for this fun, punchy tone, but if you're not communicating story while you're doing it, it seems like you're saying, like, hey, it seems like really surface level, which is, like, the scary part. And that's just why it's so critical to set up the story, to set up a good problem. Like, I haven't seen, we're on page 5 or 6. I don't even know what the problem is or the main focus.
I thought the initial scene was like the story, but now I don't think so.
Far in, but we still.
Like, especially with the whole engagement ring, like, I feel like that was just dropped.
Main part of the story or what's going on. Yeah, I mean, you gotta. I mean, especially with the screenplay. Oops, that was, I think, your phone. Yeah. But I think especially with the screenplay, where you just don't, like, I mean, in a novel, you can cut, but, like, now modern novels, even I'm learning, because I'm working on one, that I just gotta cut, like, you gotta cut the fluff. Like, you gotta get to the story, because, like, honestly, like, that's what people care about. And it's like, you know, it can be a little bit risky if you just kind of meander a little bit too much. Or like, you know, set up so much, but then. And all these like cool characters, you have ideas. It's just you have to focus, and that's something that I still struggle with. So like, I understand how that's. I relate, but it's a challenge. Pierce tattoo rakshas. Like honestly, like I guess Indian humanoid monster. I don't know what kind of monster. You probably would want to describe what the rakshas looks like.
VP incisors, bluish tinge.
She's a typical LA girl.
Humanoid, yeah.
What did I tell you guys about riddles in the lobby? Oh, I guess that would be you're the girl.
What did I tell you guys about riddles in the lobby?
Oh, come on, Rickshaw. She's only a mortal.
A mortal who's about to get HR on speed dial. At this rate, you're going to have more harassment complaints than the Satyrs. That's kind of funny. I thought Wallace,
that was a funny joke.
Wallace, it's so good to see you. Ignore them.
Ignore who? Love the piercing.
She's a girl too.
Oh.
Ignore who? Love the piercing, by the way. Is that new?
For like 2 years now. Wait, that's you. Sorry. I'm jumping
girl?
in. I'm a girl.
For like 2 years now.
Ding. The elevator opens. Yeah, I guess you never will. I mean.
Never will what?
I think that's referring to getting to the story. But yeah, I mean, I think that's the challenge, right? I mean, that's something that, like, you know, is a consistent struggle. And even, like, honestly, like, even in some movies that get made, like, you know, their initial hook is, like, not as strong as it should be. So I think what this writer was trying to do is, like, ooh, I want to have an action scene hook. So they had that big explosion, you know, in this, like, you know, vault. But then they didn't really follow through or drive it towards a story problem. So I think, like,
I think it'll come
your
back.
hook has to factor in. Like, I think that's, like, honestly, that's probably my biggest note is, like, you had this really strong hook. You know, that hook scene with the explorers still has to drive the story. Like, you know, like, expose a problem besides my spelling. Problem that needs resolution, a goal, etc. Like, you know, those are the types of things that, you know, using a hook is great, but you know, you have to actually leverage it into, like, driving story, and it's a challenge, man. Like, honestly, I struggle with the same thing. As the store's closed, we're okay. It's tomorrow. Always coming, never arrives. Tomorrow. The door seals. Rakasha rolls her eyes while
your voice for him.
Poor Doug.
Tomorrow.
Poor Doug.
We're coming. Never alive. Tomorrow.
I like your voice for him too. The doors seal, elevator lifts, rolls her eyes, Wallace grins. Old friends back together again.
Lots to catch up on? You have no idea.
Basket security bullpen day. They exit into the fray. Mythological creatures of every stripe run around with memos, type in IMAX, and speak to clients and vendors
What year is this?
enchanted mirrors. I guess this is modern day. Usually you can clarify that in a slugline, which I don't think happened. So it would usually say day present, which is actually a really helpful tool. I don't think it's ever, I would really encourage the writer to leverage that just because you're using a lot of elements and the more stuff you can do to anchor the... Oh yeah, we were on page 7, sorry. The more stuff you can use to anchor the readers early, the better. Good to know we're in present day, but not just throw in a slug line just in case, like int, and that's how you would normally. That's like a bad, very shortened version, but yeah.
Shane and a Grecian Minotaur, hands Rekha a folder.
Rekha, these are all receipts for October. These are all the receipts for October.
Thanks, Shane.
Don't even ask me what I had to do. So far, the script goes in a Spaceballs direction, so I guess there'll be no real storyline, problem resolution, etc. Yeah, I mean, I get the sense it's playing off the concept a lot, right? So I think, we'll see. Like, if it's not really developed by page 10, we'll probably call our, read over by then. But, like, usually you want that goal to be present by page 10. And it's okay, like, if you're doing, satire or, like, doing some really, like, off-the-wall silly thing. But I get the sense that this writer is not going for that. They want something... It looks like they're wanting to, like, really develop a story. So then it just looks like, hey, we just need to get to it. And I bet you they do later, but I think that probably one of the things this writer will want to work on, if they really want to clean this draft up and make it super solid, is just driving... that narrative a little bit faster. Okay. Okay.
Don't ask me what I have to do to get them. I won't.
The phone menu at Southwest Ley Lines. Oh, someone has read Dresden. Is an official circle of hell.
Unofficial.
Is an unofficial circle of hell officially. Who's lunch?
Too high on the food chain for you. Play nice.
Rekha drops his folder. I thought that was a girl?
Rekha drops.
Oh, his folder. Shane's folder. In an Ifrit's inbox, and speed walks Wallace into the hallway with various awards and plaques.
Sorry about that. We gave most of the guys a heads up, but you might want to stay out of the bullpen for a bit. The Minotaurs can be a lot.
She opens the door and steps into basket security. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of punny stuff, so I think, like, this writer really likes their world. And it's a cool world, so, like, I get that. But, you want to focus less on the world. We kind of get it at this point and start driving to the story. And that's okay. Because, like, I mean, part of that's just trusting the reader, right? And saying, okay, look, the person will have got it by now. And just being able to say, even though I want to include this extra detail or whatever, I have to just trust my reader that he will have gotten it at this point. I have 2 different cues that this is a different world, and you just gotta. I mean, honestly, the intro Guardians were enough. Like, we kind of knew this was like an office setting, or you probably could have skipped them and gone straight into the office setting. That kind of brevity will probably really help the script.
Use is pretty intuitive. Close your eyes, picture a destination, and barring it's awarded, you're there. Just double check you're approved to travel. They're bastards about freezing accounts. Gotcha.
Is that you, Rekha? Wallace jumps, staring into the gloom in the back of the closet. Jeremy Blackwell, 31 white, spacey English hipster in glasses, climbs from behind. British accent.
Do an accent, yay.
Oh, yeah. Dual monitors. I'm not some damn monkey.
Aren't you?
A pair of dual monitors on a desk crammed between filling cabinets.
Kidding.
He gestures to magical suppliers of the coffee mug. Here for an afternoon caffeine boost, I see. One of these days, you're going to have to show me how to work the coffee maker.
Coffee maker?
Oh, hello, Jeremy IT. You must be the Wallace, the witch, yeah? Funny sort of nickname. The boys and I were just talking about it. Now you're going to cast some... Oh, whoa, big line of dialogue.
Yeah.
Big line of dialogue. And you can see, like, that's not much over 4 lines, but you can see how verbose it feels.
Yeah.
So, like, that's why, honestly, in a screenplay, your rule is, like, 4-line maximum, unless it's, like, a speech that has to be there. Because, like, most speeches don't ever have to really be there. Mm-hmm. Unless it's, like, you know, really, really critical. Keep them under 4.
Ridiculous notion. Wait, why is that not in dialogue?
He laughs. What a ridiculous notion.
Oh.
That's where you would use a parenthetical.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so, page 8. This is actually where you would use a parenthetical. Where you'd use... See, look at that. We just learned about parentheticals today. And, like, the proper use and improper use. Yay.
And Wallace mouths boys at Becca, who shrugs, heel turns, and exits. Sorry, gotta go. Good luck with the coffee?
Jeremy waves cheerily and climbs back into the corner as they exit. A lot of characters. I mean, we've almost had a character per page. Because we've had 3, 6, 9... Because we've had the 3 beginning guys.
Mm-hmm. Wallace, Recca,
that
dude.
The derpy guys in the front gate.
Dog and
Jeremy.
That's like 11.
Yeah, 11 characters per 9 pages. Page 8. And this is still on page 8. 11 characters in 8 pages is way too many. I'm gonna tell you. Like, this one is probably less up for...
Got a little German. He's got a lot of German in him.
Yeah.
Ja.
Das ist gut. Yeah, I got to. My German impression was used in the earlier screenplay. So,
okay.
Good luck with the coffee, and then chatting and leaves. All right, so Ollie's got to get to page 10 here. Basket security.
IT. Most models can't hack all of this. Most models can't hack all of this. He applied for the job. Bastet figured a human on staff would be useful now and then. Signing for FedEx. That charm he wears keeps him sane, but there are side effects.
Yeah. Another verbose line, not really contexted. I would just clean up the dialogue. I mean, that's honestly just kind of seems to be a theme, and I bet you that will happen when you trim down your characters, and then the ones you keep, developing them. Like, that's the recommend. I mean, that's honestly one of the recommendations. Like, I'll just put that down here under, for later. Trim down the number of characters, and the ones you keep, develop a lot more, and you'll find the dialogue smooths out. Yeah, I mean, that's honestly probably going to be one of the overall notes anyways, so.
How long's he been like that? 6, 7 years? Don't make that face. It's not like witches don't do the same thing. Ordered what's-his-face? Chazzle-dazzle? Chazagio? Betrayer of secrets? Prince of foul mysteries? Yeah, Chazzle-dazzle. You get his consent before yanking him through the veil? That's different. Sure, at least Jeremy gets benefits. Anyway, it's not that Bastet wasn't impressed or that I don't want to hear about it. Just maybe keep your resume on the DL, okay?
No action breaking the dialogue.
Yeah,
Talking heads. talking about something we have no idea.
Just like no idea.
That are discussing something we have 0% ideas about what it regards. Get to the story. No more exposition. And this is also zero conflict. So, I mean, this is the problem with the hook. Is the writer will assume that, like, oh, I have this really cool actiony hook. It's going to pull people through. Yeah. And then you're really, at least I do this too, and then I'm really lazy about my next few scenes. And then I'm like, I don't have to develop these as much because my hook is going to carry it. But it never, ever, ever does. So you still have to have conflict and not just banter, like real conflict. These Wallace scenes have no conflict. Don't rely on your hook. Just your hook to carry readers forward. And this dude, like, I mean, this is all, like, I mean, this is pretty strongly written. I mean, this is all stuff that I still have to work on. And it's less about, like, oh my gosh, I need to do that, versus just remembering. And, like, writing's a discipline, I think, of remembering the techniques and staying and just, like, continually going back over the basics. And, you know, so, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's, like, a bad thing that it's not there, but it's just something. There's something called Bastille, but I don't know what that is. Yeah.
Bastet's Egyptian god shaped like a cat.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Well, trust the cat lady to know. Egyptian god shaped like a cat, apparently.
A goddess, I think.
Goddess. Wallace swallows and nods. Yeah, okay. Bastet Security Services conference room day. High-level staff sits at a table. Nefermet, CEO, High Priest of Bastet. How do we know they're? I guess we can assume they're high ups. Mistress of happiness, slay the idleness that afflicts our minds as you slew the serpent Apheap. With your graceful strength, anticipate the moves of all. I just gotta do as many silly voices as possible.
Yeah.
With all.
It's like watching South Park.
Yeah. Perpetrate malice against our accounts and slay their hands against the children of light. Grant us the joy of our new clients, and ever watch over us in these lonely places in which we must walk.
You should do that at your job.
Yeah? At my job?
Yeah.
Just do magical prayers.
Little prayers and be like, grant us the joy of new clients and ever watch over us in the lonely places in which we must walk.
So also a long line of dialogue. And I mean, it does.
Not doing anything.
Yeah. Long line of dialogue, but little direction. I mean, it tells me about the character. It tells me it's devout. Tells me.
But who cares? Who is this dude?
Yeah, is devout, but does this character matter? I've met 11 other people that don't. I've just met 12 characters that don't. It's time to get.
Who matters at this point? I thought the first 3 did, and then I think Wallace, and then I think maybe Rika. We just keep meeting new people.
Yeah, it's just.
And nothing's happening.
Yep, and that's a problem with some amateur screenplays. And the
like, it's interesting. Like, it's not like it's bad. It's like, okay, it's kind of cool, but like I don't think it's
Yeah, I mean, I think the challenge is when you're going into and honestly, and this is like this is when we started this read on these ones. We were like, the problem with magic and scripts is it's hard to still tell a story because you're trying to do so much, and you have to establish your world, you have to establish your characters, you have to establish a story, you have to establish the rules of the magic. Like, all this stuff is just a lot for a writer to handle. And for someone who's maybe more of an amateur writer, or this is their first few screenplays, you're going to find yourself getting overwhelmed and not being able to handle all those challenges. And that's for me too. Like, I struggle, like, I'm writing a sci-fi novel now, and like that's one of the things that I'm struggling with is like I have to trim down my exposition. I have to get to the story faster. I have to like just trim all this fluff because like you want to build your world because you've thought about it so much, but your reader doesn't care. They need a story. And the only necessary parts of your world are the parts of your world that contribute to the story, and that's it.
Now I have Little Mermaid stuck in my head.
A whole new world.
No.
No, okay, fine. You didn't
Part of
tell
the
me it was a
world.
cult. Oh, okay, fine. Yeah.
That's Aladdin.
Is Aladdin a whole new world? I'm down.
Whole new world.
Okay, that's your line, girl.
Oh, he didn't tell me it was a cult. Participation isn't mandatory. Just don't sign anything or pet anything.
As the prayer ends, the staff murmurs thanks, and the cat leaps from his perch, transforming mid-air into an Egyptian cat god Basset.
Just like my cat.
Arms raised, just like your cat, yes.
Greetings, my children. As you may have noticed, a new team member joins the woo-woo account today. Wallace is a dimensional specialist who will be working with Reka on fail strategies for the product launch. Everyone, welcome Wallace.
Welcome, Wallace. That would be a dialogue line, though. And a lot of dialogue. You need to get more action. There's not enough movement in this scene besides character. Like, the only action you have are character introductions right now.
Yeah.
Be sure to have movement.
Like, you could just skip a lot of this.
Yeah. And the hi, how are you moments should be trimmed. Like, hey, I'm Bill. Nice to meet you, Bill. That's very on-the-nose dialogue because it's very predictable. We as readers don't want to have a conversation that we can predict the outcome on. We want uncertainty, which is what conflict is. It's a situation where we don't know the outcome. Two people want the same thing, and they're going to butt. Two cell phones want the same thing. They're going to butt heads, and that's where conflict drives. And because we don't know who's going to win, that instills a scene with uncertainty. Even predictable conflict is bad. You need to have uncertainty, which is what everything that undergirds like storytelling is. It's a situation that you don't know what's going to happen. The second you have a conversation that seems rehearsed, you're really running the risk there.
Hey guys, Becca, why don't you bring us up to speed with the project? Of course. Oh gosh, I don't care.
Okay, so page 11. We don't really want to know. And Wallace. Wallace. Hi, Wallace.
I don't care about the project.
Great call. So let's give some overall notes. I think this one was also kind of a page 10 cut. And if I was a punk, I would say that both of these would be no vote yet. But I think this one was stronger. Yeah, this one was stronger of the two. The writing was stronger, but the storytelling still had some issues. And that's okay. Like, honestly, like, hey, my storytelling still has issues, but like, and that's one of the reasons you want a lot of editing and getting these reviews, because it can show these challenges. So what was the good stuff? I mean, the writing, styling, the world building was creative and well built, strong, mythology brought in, dialogue was bantery and witty. The one thing that was kind of a bummer, and this is what I'll say here, is like all the characters except your main characters were cool and unique. Like, everybody was like this, like...
Honestly, I still don't know who the main character is.
I think it's that Wilma or something. Wallace.
Yeah, she's boring. Like, don't introduce awesome characters and give him, like, an engagement. I mean, maybe he'll come back. He probably does come back.
She really likes the romance parts, if you can't tell. She's like,
but
what
like,
about
like
the
depth,
ring?
It's like depth in
Lighting
the
was
story.
good.
And I was like, oh, that's
And the voiceovers.
Like, the voiceovers. Yeah.
The readings.
But, like, I don't know. It's like I got kind of excited. I was like, oh, cool. Like, fun, funny characters. Like, doing, like, you know, treasure hunting, like Indiana Jones style. And then it, like, was like a boring office. Like, even if it's magical, it's still boring.
Yeah. Which is crazy, right? When you think about it, like, the mythology, and that is the mistake that happens in so much in my own fantasy sci-fi literature, is you think your world is going to be interesting because it's a unique world, and then you don't focus on the story, because people only care about the story. They care about the plot and a character going through a journey where they learn something about life, about how to be a better person.
Like, I don't care. I don't need to see the details of whatever project they're working on, unless it's like really, really apt for the story, which it may be, in which case bring it in earlier and cut all the other crap in the office. Pardon my language.
can be boring.
Like if like this project is like the big focus of the story, then bring that in earlier. Don't like have all this like wandering around the office, interacting with a bunch of characters we're not going to see again.
Yeah. I mean, and like trim the story and have conflict and less characters.
Fewer.
She's an editor. Okay. Well, that, I also like the basket's fur. It was so shiny. Well, that's probably, so what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and add this as our vote for Amateur Friday. So we'll say, woo, we actually got a lot of notes today. I didn't even realize because we were scrolling up. So vote.
Or Boyer.
Otherside Inc.
Cool.
Shazam.
Well,
all right.
Both good, interesting, but yeah.
Both good, interesting stories. I mean, I think the thing is, it's just get to the story. Get to the story. Get to the story. Set up a problem. Set up a solution. Set up someone that's doing something evil or wrong. Like, even if it's like a good guy that's having to make a tough choice. Like, where it's like, hey, he's like a nice, one of the ones that I try to do is like, hey, this is a nice pilot guy that's running drugs. Like, something that's like wrong that you want to see resolved. Even if you're not saying what the whole mission is that early. But anyways, that's the show. Final Boss Editing. It was good hanging out. Give us a follow if you want to tune in the future. And take it easy and happy writing.
Yay.
Yay.